Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a very serene beginning to a Friday edition of Wake and Base. Hope y'all are doing well today. If you couldn't tell from the last couple streams, I've been a little bit obsessed here with our Tatsuro Yamashita acapellas that I've been finding online. Oh yeah, I'm gonna mess with that later. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all are having a nice day as I am. Woke up to a nice bright day, not too hot, not too cold, although I wouldn't mind if it's too cold. But more importantly today, we've got our last day of our second week of special requests from y'all. We got a really cool album here today by, I'm gonna say it totally wrong here, Masayuki Kishi. I can't say that first name. I always remember Kishi, but this up here, we're gonna talk about this guy. Say his whole name, Alex. Anyway, Masayuki Kishi, off to a good start. Very interesting character. One of our people here who is has a pretty strong beginning of their career and then kind of fades a little bit into the background, but that doesn't mean that they don't have some really great songs and some pretty interesting connections here for the bass channel. I'm very excited for one here that I found out about later. And also, as always, you guys, the community here at the Alex63501 bass channel is the best in the world. And one of our people here, MASTEROFOWL, again, has hooked us up not only with all the uploads for today's music, but some really great research info put in the comments there. And they didn't even say anything to me. They were just going to keep it a secret. But I found it. I found your awesome research. And we're going to go through all of that here today. So, jumping right into stuff and just getting on into things, we actually looked a little bit at one of these songs yesterday in my Mega Weeby Tabbin stream. So I went through yesterday and I've been going crazy trying to get all my audio stuff hooked up so I can stop messing with it and just make videos, play music, you know, do the thing that I came here to do. And we went through and did, not Pretender, but we did, what's it called, Love of Music? Music Forever. Music Forever. Very, very cool song. I'm really looking forward to playing a little bit of that for you here later. I think that's going to be our 4th or 5th track here today. But let's go ahead and switch on over here and get to the old morning view. Boop. There we go. All right. And let's just make sure everything is working here. Good. Yes, things are happening. So what we got here, like I said, Masayuki Kishi. Give me 10 more times, I'll say it right. This cat, let's go ahead and go to his Discogs page and just look at him here for a second. It looks like his very first album, I want to say it was 1984? 82. So he's got a solo album in 82 here. What we're going to be listening to today is his second album in 1984. These are both on the label Invitation, which is a label that I am not real familiar with. We're going to have to look up a little bit here. But this is the second album. We've got a list here. MASTEROFOWL was so kind as when we go over to the YouTube page, we've got all these phenomenal inserts. Whoop, as I make them all disappear. Phenomenal inserts here of information that they went through on their own, did the study, and since I am terrible at Japanese and MASTEROFOWL is excellent at it, he was able to go through and get a lot more information than I was. So for everybody here who's watching, go over to this video. I've put it in the description. Click this, and then go click this. Meow, meow, meow. Right there. Everybody click it. But what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to listen a little bit to this introduction here, which is very, very short, but it's going to give us a little bit of an idea, I'm hoping, of what we're about to get in here to today. So let's just check that out here real quick. This is the opening introduction track to the 1984 album, Pretender, by Masayuki Kishi. Cool. So that is definitely an example of an introduction that is supposed to seamlessly play into the next track, which we're going to pretend like that went ahead and happened here. And we're going to go ahead and listen to Garasu no Mateno. Yes, I am right. Alright, I'm digging this first start here. So I like how Kishi, it's 1984. We got a lot of tropes and different city pop ideas that have established themselves by 1984. He just slams us with 3 right at the beginning. All in the first 3 seconds, we get a wave crash of the ocean, we get Tatsuro doo-wop background vocals, and then we get a little bit of that Matsushito First Light guitar riff. Making up for lost time. It's his second album. It's 1984. Tatsuro's already got like 12 albums. He's got stuff to do. Okay, this is ridiculous. But I was already excited that Master of had gone to the effort of going into all of these videos and adding information and crib notes for all of them. But that was not good enough for them. Not good enough. They had to send me their thesis. Yes! Look at this! This is amazing! Look at this! This is unbelievable! Man, this is so cool! Man, I thought I did stuff that was like, I hope people appreciate this, and this is a lot of work. This is way more work, and I really appreciate it. Holy crap, this is awesome. This is amazing. Everybody get off my channel. Go to Master of Al. Ugh, stop messing with me. This guy, ow, 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 ow. I'm so happy. Nobu that shit. High five. Wrong song. All right, Master Val, you gave the wrong song. Off. Get out. Research denied. Doctorate denied. Let's listen to a little bit of the outro here while I read a little bit of this. It's awesome. We've definitely got a little bit of that Western Eastern fusion. Right there. I'm going to do just a little quick rewind here because I want y'all to hear that. That is such a cool chord progression thing. It's a very common pop thing. And I'm not good enough at theory to verbalize exactly what it's called, but I know it when I hear it. Check this out. Wait for it. That. Where you do that minor chord and then you keep going into this little fall down. I love that stuff. See, I'm getting goose pimples. Oh, it's good. Okay, so jumping back in there for those of y'all who are just joining us right now, I want to tell you first of all how awesome this is that Master Val has gone through and done all this research for us here. I was so distracted looking at all of this and just being so taken aback that I played the wrong track in the wrong order. It's because I can't read Japanese and I'm bad at my job. So instead of listening to The actual first track of the song that our introduction was supposed to go into, we just listened to Silhouette. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull myself down here to find what I accidentally clicked on here. Is that it? Let's find Silhouette. Maybe. That's Pretender Instrumental. There it is. Here we go. Rain Silhouette. And again, for those of y'all who've just joined us in the last 30 seconds, go check out Master Owl. He hooked us up with pretty much with a master's research paper here on this album. So I don't know why my album got all goofed up in its order here, but let's just real quickly jump to Discogs and look at what we're dealing with. So we've got Pretender. This is Masayuki Kishi's second album after his first one, which was in 1982, and he's only got 3 solo albums. So pretty tight collection here, all within the course of, I think it was 5 years. Let's look. I think the first one was 82, last one was 86, all in the course of 4 years. However, during that time, we can look over here on the side, he kept himself plenty busy working through other people, not ghostwriting, but writing songs. He sang on one, he did some anime. We're going to scroll down later here and we're going to see some interesting things that I'm very excited about. But first of all, let's just jump into the amazingness of what Owl has done here for us. So jumping back a step, let's look at this intro and just check out some of the, I'm going to post this. Sorry, Al, if that's okay with you, you let me know. I'm going to post this in our Discord afterwards and maybe even link this on the YouTube channel if they're okay with it. But this is amazing. And I just want to pull out, instead of reading the whole thing for you, since he did such an awesome job of making this accessible, I just want to pick out some of the highlights that stuck out to me. So reading in this introduction here, really interesting stuff about who some of the members are, who's playing and all these kinds of things. And a interesting DAW, or a digital audio workstation, popped its name up, the Fairlight CMI. I've never heard of this, but apparently it's one of the earliest workstations that had embedded digital sampling and is credited as one of the first samplers, period. And I, as you've seen with my Jackie Chan dog bark video and my Nobu obsession and my SP404 sampler that's in front of me, this is an incredibly interesting idea, and I did not know that this was one of the first ones. So this is very, very cool. So I'm absolutely going to be reading this later, but let's see what it says. Hey, 8 to 16 polyphony. Okay, we talked a little bit about that yesterday. Oh, only 60,000 pounds. Not too bad. Okay, so LFO, that's a oscillator. So they use that for vibrato. Okay, we got additive synthesis, and then here we go. Sampling, 8-bit at 16 kilohertz. That is a small sample. To give you a reference of what we're sampling at now, let me pull up my voice meter here. So I'm at 44.1 kilohertz. So that's quite a bit. 44.1. Yeah. So, okay, this actually is in the range. So this could do the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. That's pretty amazing and pretty powerful for, what is this, 1979, 1980? That's pretty darn cool. So just more background information about these instruments that we're hearing, because again, the synthesizer came from Japan. I know we talk about the Moog, which is German, absolutely is a German piece of technology, but if you look at the people who really made it accessible and really took the chip, the microchip, and all these different electronic components, packed it into a smaller, more usable, feasible instrument, it was Japan, and they were using them before everybody else went all crazy on them. So you can think 70s, synthesizers from Europe, all that kind of stuff. Once you get into the 80s, the Japanese have taken that, and then once the DX7 came out, it's over. DX7 is like the sound of the 80s. So cool. Hey, we got some more people hanging out. Ooh, what's up, Elijah? Cat in a box. Yeah? Yeah, cat in a box. And we got Mindaguas. I'm trying to say your name correct. And then we got Zal, and we got Poppy, and we got Daniela. Always good. Oh, we got Break here, too. Everybody's popping in. That's great. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to the actual second song here, which is Glass no Mateno. I'm sorry, guys. You know I try. Now, let's go ahead and go to the actual second track, because before we listened to Rain Silhouette, which was cool, but I was a little curious why he felt like a doo-wop song would be most appropriate opening, but hey, we don't judge here at the Bass Channel. We just judge your music, not you. Just your music. Okay. Oh, that's much better. You know what? In fact, how about this? Let's get the full effect. I'm going to go ahead and pop in the introduction on my other track. Let's listen to that, and then I'll slide it right on in. There's that station, I'm sure, right there. That's one of our synthesizers. If not the first one, it's probably, let's see, what was the other one? The synth clavier, number 2. Don't know that one either. Or the PPG wave. Until the 1980s, the tonal palette of commercial synthesizers was limited to that which could only be obtained by combining a few simple waveforms. The result, Wolfgang Palm. He brought us the ultimate beats. Here we go. Damn it. I'm ready for the radio. No, the same problem that was happening to me yesterday. My tractor is very upset, apparently, when everything else is running. But that's okay. We're going to use this opportunity to talk about not only that, but my lack of ability to use my equipment. So anyway, talking here a little bit more, we've got our drummer here while I get my tracks all figured out. Let's see if that looks a little more reasonable. There we go. Let's put this back up in there. Jump randomly into the middle. And pretend like that didn't happen. 4, 6, oh, 遊び慣れた仲間はティム・ボールさんのここにいないアクセル踏んで光の海原サイドシートに風を乗せてポギライ気だるい日々を抜け出してあの子 Alright, we got that driving rhythm. We got a little bit in my mind, just a little bit of that Jackie Chan. Oh, this is the night, holding free till the morning. Earlier though, because I believe for Jackie that was something, that was late 80s when he came out with that. That was like Shangri-La. How do I know so much about Jackie Chan albums? How am I so good? That's a cool synth. This is cool. This is really going out there. I know we listen to songs in the wrong order, but if just coming into this album, not knowing that we had a doo-wop Silhouette Rain song coming up, I would think, all right, we're in for a pretty rocking song here. I'm waiting for the guitar solo because this feels like we're getting set up for just like a Van Halen style. Something like that. I'm waiting for it. We'll see if it happens. Wonderful to see you. What's up, Pop Bass Me? Good to have you here. This song is dope, man. We've been on fire this week. It's been good. And here it is. City pop stop out of nowhere. I need it again. Okay, I guess the song's over. We'll just move on to something else now. I always love that kind of fake out stuff. There's the good kind of fake outs and the bad kind of fake outs. That's a good kind of fake out to me. A bad kind of fake out is when you're sitting in your car and you're listening to the radio and you turn on some new pop song, and then that pop song samples police sirens and they start blaring in your speakers and you start like freaking out like, where's the police car? That's a bad sample. This is a good sample. Okay, very, very cool first song there. You can see here, I don't know if you can see it up in my tab, I was typing in, second solo. Tasty choice of outro. Okay, so I don't know if you saw up here at the top, but I was typing in Beat It here, the Michael Jackson song. I guess that makes sense. Quincy Jones put it together. Quincy Jones put everything that was worth listening to in 1975 to 1995. It's Quincy Jones. It's Quincy Jones time. Anyway, what I think is so cool about the Beat It song, and I'm trying to see if I can find the story here. Yeah, here we go. This song is noticeable for its music video, which features Jackson bringing two gangsters together through the power of music and dance, and for Eddie Van Halen's guitar solo. So the music video helped establish Jackson as an international pop icon, blah, blah, super successful, beep, 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 beep. There's a story, though, that has to do with playing that solo, because somebody in the production company did not want Eddie Van Halen or the band members of Van Halen or the record company. Somebody did not want him to do it. And let's see. Yeah, here we go. Thomas Harley bar guitar from... He thought it was a prank call. Here we go. Let's just read the story real quick, because this is a good story about one of the biggest songs of all time, at least in this recent past 50 years. Okay, so Van Halen, lead guitarist, Eddie Van Halen, lead guitarist of Van Halen, was asked to play the guitar solo. When he was initially contacted by Quincy Jones, he thought he was receiving a prank call. When he figured out it was genuine, then he used a Hartley Thompson amplifier borrowed from his guitarist friend and recorded it free of charge. Did it as a favor, he said. I was a complete fool, according to the rest of the band, our manager, and everyone else. I was not used. I knew what I was doing. I didn't do it unless I wanted to. And he recorded it with Jones, and they at his house with a skeleton version of the song. Following the other guitarist, he said, initially we rocked it out as Eddie had played a good solo, but Quincy thought it was too tough. So I had to reduce the distorted guitar, and that's what was released. But two versions were recorded. That is crazy. I think that's totally crazy, that solo, because again, he's not part of the band, and when they were putting this song together, and let's look at this up, 1983, a year before this came out. Ooh, I'm not going to call any, copycats anything, but that's the formula for how to put these songs together, very similar at the time. So he knew he wanted that solo in there. And I think that this, would be something a little more organic than what Quincy Jones is doing, because Quincy Jones is an orchestrator. He designs the music. He does play. He's a great pianist, but that's what he was doing. And so he knew, he's like, this is what's going to fit. This is what we need. maybe he heard some Kishi and was like, oh. Well, I guess he would have done it first, but maybe he time traveled and heard Kishi? I don't know. Pretty cool, though. Great second track. And as we're looking here at our musicians for this track, we've got two that pop out. We've got our percussionist here, Takeo Kikuchi, who really does not have much of a footprint on Discogs, which doesn't mean a lot. Discogs is kind of showing itself to have quite a few holes. But then our guitarist, our Japanese Eddie Van Halen here, Yuji Toriyama, totally shredding it, and it makes sense that he's got hundreds upon hundreds of credits, including things we've looked at. Hiroshi Saito, EPO. I'm going to do EPO, I swear to you. Piper, look at that. Second Piper album, not the first one. Pretty interesting there. Okay, I'm sure we got a lot more. Went off on a huge side tangent here. Let's get back to the research and go to track A3. Music Forever. This is the one that we worked on yesterday. This is going to be one of our new tabs coming out in the future. This song, banger. I thought this song was like, maybe this should be the opening track. I don't know. Last one was pretty good. Let's see what you guys think. See what you prefer better. This one, Music Forever, or Glass No Materno. I think it might be this one. So for those of you who weren't here yesterday, this was the song that I went from never hearing before, or rather hearing one time like a month ago, 0 to tabbed. I think my time was like 1:35. Not bad. But the middle part was like, what is going on? It's so cool. Very well written song. Very fun to play. This is the cool chill song. It does not have nearly the pump your head energy of our opening track, but we're vibing, man. You know, it's got that perfect tempo. Let's see, what are we dealing at here? 96.2. Okay, that's a pretty chill beat. But since we've got that little bit of Nobu there in the background action, it gives it a nice flow. It's a very, I guess I hadn't really thought about that. That 95, 96, that's a good kind of city pop tempo. I'm glad we've got these BPMs now. Yeah. Another solo. Oh. Okay, a little city pop stop breakdown. And back into it. That's great, man. Another little side note I want to point out about this guitar sound that is just so iconic to it. I think later I think Al actually popped up one of the guitars that's used by one of these cats. Yeah, we'll see if this is I'm gonna guess this is not what I was thinking, because this looks like a hollow body Epiphone, or a hollow body, an Epiphone knockoff or something, like a Sadowski or something. Oh, there we go, Gibson. All right. Yeah, that's the nicer version of Epiphone. They own Epiphone. But this sound that we're hearing with this kind of shred guitar is, I was gonna guess either something. The best I can give you is something called EMG pickups. These are very hot pickups that are used in a lot of metal guitars, and they are known for this really, what's the word? I guess compressed quality, where it can pull all the sound very, very tight to the center. If any of y'all have ever messed with guitar, bass, or even synthesizer, or anything like that, when you mess with distortion, what distortion is turning up the input signal, or in some cases, with a drive loop in old tube amps, it would send the signal back in a circle through the same input over and over and over and over and over, distorting the sound and making that out of a simple sound. Now, I'm not going to do it because it'll break my microphone in your ears. If I were to take my little knob on my microphone and just turn it up, it would slowly turn it into this garbled, horrid mush. That's the same idea. That's why vocal distortion is not such a big deal. However, as we saw, is this it? Is this the button right here? No. We talked yesterday about that phone vox, which he does at the end of our first track here, where he pulls out all of the bass and the mids out of his voice, and you just hear this kind of crackly treble. What's going on with these pickups is taking that compressed, that distorted sound, and keeping it very, 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 very tight. And then they add a little bit of reverb to that, and then a little bit, and this is something new I've discovered, the direct line. So your signal, when you're putting something in, I'd always thought you put in 100% of your signal. Not the best way to do it. If you put in 92 or 85 to 92% of your signal, depending on how much wash you want, it pulls that cut, that treble cut off the beginning of your sound, sends that into a reverb effect, and then it gives you this really clean guitar shred sound, and that is what this is. Let's see if I can jump into the middle of this track so you can hear what that guitar solo sounds like and get that sound. That. I want to find the actual solo. Okay, here we go. You can hear just a little bit, because it's not overdone. That's the whole idea, is that it's supposed to be extremely subtle, which is frustrating, because then as somebody who's trying to reproduce it, you're like, what are you doing? It sounds so simple, but it's all these little nuanced changes. So for those of y'all trying to dial in a good tone, that is the biggest thing I can give you. Direct send. Mess with your signal. Don't send 100% of your signal. Cut off 5 to 10%. You'll be surprised with how much better you sound immediately. Tip of the day. Okay, now let's keep going here. Let's go jump back real quick here. Talk about Music Forever here. We got some good stuff. One interesting thing. 2 stories here. One, so Al found the exact same connection we found here. I think it was it with Piper yesterday when we did that? Where I was talking about, maybe that was 2 days ago. I was talking about the Gwen Stefani, what I call the Gwen Stefani effect, which is instead of having a chorus, oh no, it was when we were doing Junko Yagami. That's what it was. She and her husband, for their whole album, they didn't have a chorus. Those two just layered themselves in many, many ways, a la Tatsuro Yamashita, something like that. But I call it the Gwen Stefani effect because that's how I first heard it. She did that all the way through her, no doubt, the ska punk band she was in. Then when she was solo, she did that in her pop music. She did that in her concept albums, all that kind of stuff. We got the same thing going on here. Funny side note, apparently from Kishi, is that he thought that the guy who was directing him, Mr. Takebe, every time he hears the song, he just thinks of his bad pitches. And so I'm just imagining him, the guy being like, okay, this is how I hear it in my head. I want you to do this. And then the guy who can actually sing is like, I got it. And he's like, Okay, I want you to sing like this. Doo-doo-ba-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. And then Tatsuro Yamashita's like, I got it. I can make that sound good. Anyway, that's my interpretation of it. Music Forever. Good track. Now, as we go to this next one here, I'm going to try to do a little bit more research onto some of these musicians here because I've just kind of been riffing and having a good time jamming to this stuff because it's kind of good to jam to. But let's look up here, Machikado no Pretender. Now, before I pick the wrong track, let's use the handbook here to make sure I pick the right thing. Hey, this one's in order. There we go. See, sometimes it works out. And let's go ahead and let it get that BPM for us. Let's see what we got here. See, I don't listen to these songs. I won't ruin it for you. Do we have another 96? Oh, we got 100 BPM. Okay. Ooh. And we're getting smooth. Might be slow dance time, y'all. Hey, what's Island Fantasia? Just got Warm Front on vinyl. Let us know what that's like. Or maybe rip it onto YouTube for us. Yeah. You and me both, Pop Bass Me. Let me tell you, man, you can fiddle with sound for the rest of your life. It's fun, though. It's worth it. No boo. Okay, pretty good. So I don't know how many of y'all were reading along with me there as we were looking through some of the information, but I was talking about this track and some of the other people that played on it, and we've got apparently a hidden acoustic guitar in here, which I'm very interested to try to pick out here. But we've also got our percussionist Pecker, terrible name, wish it was Nobu, but we've got interesting percussion in here, and I was also able to find the original cover, which I think it was a photo. Yeah, it was taken by Kenji Miura. So let's look at that real fast. It's pretty similar to what ended up being on the album, but just different enough. I guess he really liked that dog idea. But we can see here, for the actual album, it's flipped, and we got a little more composition in the back. That's a good photo. I think that one's better. Interesting, though. Very interesting to see the concept art for that. What? Andy had a custom jacket made for the album? Look at baller. Look at this guy. Let's see what we got here. What? Man, they really thought about this. Where the hell did you find this stuff? That's amazing, man. Way to go, Owl. You better be careful, buddy. You're gonna get recruited by research universities if you keep this shit up. Alright, let's check out the Wikipedia for a second. think of what the name of that percussion instrument is. It might be just a wood block with reverb. That. It was a little louder earlier, but that. I like that. This is okay. So we talk sometimes here on the channel about balance in terms of arrangement and band composition. Not composition of the song, but how we're balancing, or how many members we have, first of all, and then how we balance those members. So if we're looking at something like very early I don't know, this is a bad example. Look at early Cassiopeia. Okay, you got 4 or 5 people on there. Then you look at Cassiopeia versus the Square, and you have a small army on stage. That works in a different way because it's Cassiopeia and it's T-Square, you know. But that's a very different sound, having 20 people on stage than having 4 people on stage. And what we got here, and we're definitely listening to whatever the hell is going on right now again. This is super well balanced in my mind, because when we were listening yesterday to our album, or no, 2 days ago, when we were listening to Piper, one of the things that was alluded to through this research was that the vocalist didn't feel good about his voice, or there was, you know, some critiques that his voice was too raspy or not refined enough. And listening to Summer Breeze, they buried him in that album. I mean, absolutely buried him. Trying to EQ out his voice was almost impossible. It was pulled so low. Usually vocals sit right nicely tasty in the middle, but in that case they were not. This is excellently balanced, and as we back it up to the vocals, I feel very confident if I were to try to isolate it, I can snag them pretty easily. Let's try it. Let's see if I can snag the vocals out of the middle here. And there we go. So as you can see over here, or up, fingers, blop. You can see the mixing. I cranked down all the bass. I cranked down almost all the treble. And this frequency right here is somewhere, because this down here is in the 0 to 1,000, I think, something like that. And now I'm getting like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, something like that. But he's sitting right about there. But you see, we can pull these vocals out. I've been looking at the wrong camera all day. Whatever. Hey, everybody. Anyway, but that's just something to notice when you're talking about mixing, is everybody has their place. Nobody's stepping on each other's toes. If you've got a bass, you're putting that bass frequency right in the nice zone and you're lowering everything else off. If you've got percussion, you're making sure that the percussion has that middle high tone. Miss the bass tone, but bring back up the lower tone so that you can compensate on the other side of the sound. And it gives us a really nice, rounded, smooth mix. I know I use it so much, but one of the best examples to look at this kind of idea is to listen to the Beatles or anybody similar to them. I'm not a huge Rolling Stones fan. Got to give them their credit though, but listen to the Beatles, pay the money. They not only do what I'm talking about, but then they pan it left and right in your ears. So you can just take a headphone off and really listen to what's going on individually before you put it back together. And in many cases, if you were not paying attention, you just popped in both earphones, you wouldn't realize that they're split left and right. It just sounds like great clarity, but that's one of the tricks. And they do that here too. That's why I wanted to start downloading and purchasing this music so I could play it for you guys, so you could hear these things and we can do this kind of stuff to really figure out what's going on in the EQ and the mixing of all this. Okay, we're getting through, and this is a good one. You can always tell we're having a good day when we're 45 minutes into the stream and we haven't even finished one side. Okay, we're close though. So, Lahaina Blue Moon. Okay, boy, how can I say that? Let's see. And there's again, for those of y'all who are just joining us, this is a 1984 album here by Masayuki Kishi. Really, really cool, called Pretender. Excellent research dissertation written here by Master of Owl, talking about all the different players, interesting factoids about this and all this kind of stuff. This will be linked hopefully in the YouTube if that's cool with him. We've got it in the Discord linked up. Please come join us there. I'm going to go ahead and just do that right now. I'm going to invite people. Boom. Copy. Come over here. Hit paste. Ooh, look at that. Metal thread. Alex, you are a rich man. Yes. Not in money, but in friends. I'm the most wealthy. I'm the most wealthy. I would like some money though. Anyway, let's keep going here because I do want to talk about some things in the middle, but I would feel pretty bad if we didn't finish one side of the album. So let's keep going here and see if we can finish at A5, Lahaina Blue Moon. I'm saying that so wrong, but that's okay because I'm trying. I'm really trying. Okay, I don't know why that one's. Ow. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why that one song I had was so wildly out of order earlier today, but oh, we got a 130 BPM. Is this going to be a banger? Oh, yes, please. That's the sequencer right there. That is a synth clave. That's what that sound is. Al read my mind. There's a lot of sampling. Boom, right there at the beginning. I know it was right in front of my eyes, but still, I'm gonna give myself points. Oh, castanets. There they are. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, I'm getting asked right now what website I'm browsing here. This is called the website of badass research. Got to go to the Discord for this one. But the other websites we're using here, I'm just using Japanese Wikipedia, Discogs.com. Boom. And some mids. How did you find this stuff? This is so cool. So Owl was able to find I don't know what you'd call this. I mean, it's a composition cheat sheet. This kind of looks like what in the jazz world they call fake books, or the head or the body of a song, where if you're doing a jazz standard, you've got the head and then the body. So the head is, like, let me think, if you know, what is it, Autumn Leaves? Ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum. It plays the theme, and then the harmony keeps going, looping in the background while people solo on top of it. And it looks a lot like this, where it's not every single note, every single beat written out. It's just showing the most important parts of the changes. So every time you're at the B section, 3 times, broken heart, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, 3, and 4, and. That's what the rhythm here is giving us. It's showing us this 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. 2, 3, and 4, and 1. That kind of thing. So this is very interesting. Who are you, Owl? Where are you finding this stuff? This is amazing. It's so cool. All right. Awesome. Man, very, very little that I can do to top the research done by here, but I'm going to attempt to. So the little stuff that I can now bring to the table, aside from the amazing synopsis that Al has given us here. Little background on Kishi and how he became famous here. Like so many of these artists in Japan, he won a contest. He was in a songwriting contest for, I can't discern what this is exactly. It says Best Grand Prix, maybe that was the contest. Fourth Victor Original Song Contest, 1981. That's when he won it, I guess. And then, started producing music for other singers. I mean, he had his debut album, but did other things. And then you start looking through his catalog of some of the bigger people that he's worked with, and some names start to pop out as people that we've seen before. None more important than the Chan Man, Jackie Chan. Yes, that is correct. He wrote a song for Jackie Chan. Yes, I am right. This is truth. 1988. It was one of the theme songs. Let's see if I can find it here. I found it earlier. I bet it's right here. There we go. This is his name in his Japanese. Is it hiragana, katakana? I forget the names. But that's him right there. So he wrote this song and another one in there. So pretty cool. We got our Jackie Chan connection. No Nobu, sad, but I'll take what I can get there. So we've got that, which is always excellent in my mind. Good Jackie Chan connection. And as we're looking through here, we've also got, I saw some other there. Mamiko Toyama. Sorry, I thought it was Takako Mamiya, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited. But I'm wrong. Let's see here. I thought we had another person that I had seen. Oh, here we go. Lips. That was the other one that I had recognized in there. And then he did some anime theme songs. It looks like he's done some other things. I have no idea what Omnibus is, but he did it 3 times. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, well, let's keep going back into the album here, and let's go back to the real research, which was done by Al. And this last song that we heard here, the word that I cannot pronounce properly, Lahaina, that is actually the name of a island in Hawaii. Pretty cool. So there's our kind of Polynesian, or over across, I guess, well, for them, it wouldn't be, for Japan, I'm thinking the other way, wouldn't be nearly as far. But we've got that connection where we're hopping over and we're picking up things from either America or Europe or South America or Africa, one of these things. I always think Takanaka, Seychelles. That's the thing that always pops into my mind is like, that's the a really good example of what kind of things people and artists were doing at this time. So very, very cool. All right, well, I know we're almost out of time here, but I'm going to see how far we can take it before we're done. Let's at least see if we can get to the first 2 or 3 tracks of our second side. So this is the first track of our B-side, Fly to Light. Go ahead and get that loaded up here and let a little bit of that start playing for us. And ooh, who let ELO into the room? Here we go. All right, we got that driving bass and guitar with some... I think those are real strings. Uh-oh. Journey's gonna be pissed off. Or maybe Boston? What is that more like, Journey or Boston? Well, now it's Kishi. It is real strings, Royal Atlas strings. Let's check them out. Little string tornado. Little stab. Joe Kato Group, watch your back, man. These guys sound good. I'm gonna fly to have fun playing that rhythm live. Let's do a rewind on that. So here's another fun advantage we have to having a visualized version of the songs. We can see where these hits are. And you see those white bars are the main beats, and you can see how wonky these hits are. Let's look at this. None of those middle beats were on main beats. It was like 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 7, 8, 12. Hard to play, but when you get it, it's satisfying. Half-step modulation. I'm gonna fly, fly, fly to right zone. I'm gonna fly, fly, fly to right zone. This is good, man. Man, this has got like triumphant 80s. Just won the fight written all over it. Watch out, Eye of the Tiger. Oh, looks like we got a breakdown coming up. Boston. I hope I get a copyright strike, and it's just like, you playing More Than a Feeling over there? Ooh. Cello solo. Missed opportunity. I think they should have just ended it with that ba-la-la, like this. Stop right there. Stop right there. We don't need. If only I was in there in 1983, 84, if I had been there. Okay, very cool. This is a dope album. Now, we've gotten through most of it here because I played a lot of things out of order here. So we didn't get, man, there's a lot on this album. This might have to be something that, I'm looking at the wrong camera all day. We're going to have to roll this one over because there's just too much to look at here. So we'll have to save this for a part 2 here because I want to give this a good amount of time because clearly it warrants it from how much information has been dug up upon this. But as one fun little thing before we're done, because we got to do it on the base channel here, let's see if I can find this Jackie Chan song because I really want to hear it. I really want to hear what this song is. Okay, let's do a copy and paste and then we'll be done for the day. Also, if you have not done this, look at what I'm doing. Okay, look at that. Track 1. Look at that. Track 2. Oh, look at it. It's got a like on it. What's that? What's happening? What am I doing? The same thing y'all are doing, right? Everybody's doing this right now. We're all doing the same thing together. Now, I know this is like, but Alex, you're not listening to the songs. It's like, oh, do you think I'm not going to listen to this later? Do you think I'm not going to listen to this later? I'm listening to this later. Don't worry. Now, let's go ahead and check this out here. Jackie Chan. Hit me up. I'm always worried whenever there's something in Chinese that I type into YouTube and then police start to show up in the comments like, What did I accidentally type in Chinese? I'm a little scared. All right, do we have some sound? Yes, we do have sound. All right. Got our synth horns. And there's our Eddie Van Halen guitar. Besides the fact that Jackie Chan is singing, you can hear a little bit of the Jackie Chan flavor in the song just from the kind of that driving beat a la, what does that remind me of? A little bit of China Blue, a little bit of the some of the other Takanaka vibes. But this sounds like Kishi, you know, until he came in there. Now, hold on a second. Is this, oh, this is the whole album. I was like, is this a 20-minute song? Oh my goodness. Let's see if they gave him credit on here. That's a burn, man. Look at that. Come on. Now, here's Michael Live. This is a guy who, he was a producer on a lot of Jackie Chan albums. So he's kind of our connection there. Very cool. Let's just go back one more time. I want you to listen to the beginning, because I think this beginning here could absolutely be on Pretender. This sounds... Now, I think the difference would be this stuff right here. I think Kishi would have spent the extra coin to get real musicians and not do the synthesizer. Because one of the cool things that I think about this album, Pretender, is that even though we're using all these crazy synthesizers like the Fairlight CMI, you know, the first program, because we didn't even talk about that, about, you know, programming and sequencing, which Al was referencing in there, you know, was absolutely in its infancy at this time. The synthesizers had existed, but something like the Moog, which was coming out in Germany in the 70s, that kind of pattern or MIDI, I need to research this when MIDI came out, but the whole sequencing of tying them all together and not having latency and being able to program a beat that you can play back in high quality, that is young at this point. And what we just heard with Jackie Chan in 1988, that is kind of a cheaper sound of that. So in this album with Pretender, he really uses it very judiciously and only uses it when he needs to. And when he does, he makes sure it's not a campy kind, even though it hadn't been established as a campy kind of, I don't know, stereotypical sound, even though that wasn't there yet. He knew, like, I don't want to overdo this. I want it to be tasteful. And to my mind, I think he did a great job with it. Very, very cool. Okay, so switching back over here. Man, what a cool day. Master of Owl. Massive shout out. Massive shout out. So cool. So great. Thank you so much for doing that. We're going to have to come back and spend more time because you've put so much time into it. But for today, I think that's going to be good because I want to get back to working on some old bass music. And Pretender is one of the songs, or Pretender, Music Forever is one of the songs that we tabbed yesterday. And I want to make that tab video and catch myself up because I've been a little bit behind on the tabs, but I want to get back to it. Anywho, thank you guys. I've had such a great week getting back into it. So much fun. If you guys are having a good time, a like and subscribe always lets me know I'm doing the right thing, going in the right direction. You guys are having a good time. Suggestions, ideas, anything, hit me up. Please come join us in the Discord. I've put a link up in the chat. I've put a link in the description. It's a really, really great place. The more the merrier. Every time we add somebody new, always get something special. A new song, new piece of information. It's a really awesome place to come hang out. So, hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. Chill. Don't work too hard. Stay safe. Stay inside. Wear a mask. All that stuff. And I will see y'all on Tuesday morning. Have a good one, everybody.